In this session, we will cover some basic classroom rules to keep in mind as you start your semester at OJC. While every professor runs their classroom a little differently and will make various decisions regarding the running of their classroom independently, taking note of these basic rules will definitely help you be successful in any American classroom. A course syllabus is one of the most important tools that you are given to be successful. It is generally passed out and reviewed during the first day of class. It includes your professor's contact information, the desired outcomes from the course, or what you're expected to learn, the rubric or grading scale, course policies on attendance, homework, and submission, and the penalties for not following these policies, and a list of the textbooks that you will need for the course, among other things. Participation is key in most higher education classrooms. This is college, so it's not enough to just memorize dates, times, locations, and parties involved, but you need to understand the concepts and be able to apply them. Being in the classroom and participating in class discussions is an important part of education in America and is often graded. Attendance is generally required. Most classes will allow a certain number of unexcused absences before any penalty. In the uploaded syllabus, students are allowed 3 unexcused absences, after which their grade can be lowered by 1 letter grade. There are excused absences, often for participation in athletics or special OJC-affiliated programs. Your coursework will often be required to be submitted early or through D2L in excused absences cases. You are also expected to be on time. Showing up late for class is rude. If you do come in late, sit in the first available seat and make as little noise as possible so as not to disrupt the class. Do not interrupt the lecture or course discussion to find out what you've missed or your place in the class. Understand that there are other students in the class and your behavior affects everyone. Be prepared for class. This means read what you've been asked to read. Have questions about the material. If there's an assignment due, have it ready to be submitted. Things come up, but if you're unprepared for class, you're going to miss information and connections that may prove critical later. Plagiarism and cheating is taken very seriously at OJC. It can result in a 0 on an assignment or even in a course. For this reason, it's important to understand what we mean by plagiarism and cheating in America. Plagiarism is turning in someone else's work as your own, copying words or ideas from someone else without giving credit, failing to put quotation in quotation marks, giving incorrect information about the source of a quotation, changing words but copying the sentence structure of a source without giving credit, copying so many words or ideas from a source that it makes up the majority of your work, whether you give them credit or not. In most cases, plagiarism can be avoided by just citing the sources. Simply acknowledging that certain material has been borrowed and providing your audience with the information necessary to find that source is usually enough to prevent plagiarism. Cornell University has a great exercise to help students identify what is plagiarism and what is not. Please take a few minutes when you're finished with this module to visit the link that's included here and take the quiz. Cheating is a form of plagiarism that's a little bit narrower in focus, as there's an intentional taking or sharing of work. In most cases of cheating that I've seen with international students, it's often a miscommunication or a lack of understanding with regards on limitations on an assignment, or simply an act of desperation, trying to get an assignment that they waited until the last minute to do, turned in on time. To prevent these circumstances, there are a few things to look out for. Number 1, know the rules for teamwork assignments. Sometimes what you consider part of a teamwork assignment is not what the professor sees. Make sure that you get the appropriate guidance so you know the rules and limitations. Don't wait until the last minute to complete an assignment, especially if it's a subject that you struggle with. With limited time, it's more tempting to take a shortcut and just Google the answer or borrow a friend's work. This does not help you, and it can really hurt you if you're discovered. Ask your professor questions if you're not sure about the instructions or how to do an assignment. It's better to visit the professor before class with only part of your assignment than to get a 0 because you've because you've used a friend's answer. Finally, ask yourself, is it really worth the risk? If caught, at minimum, you will receive a 0 on the assignment. Even a partially completed assignment done by you is worth some points. Many professors offer extra credit for additional work, attending special events, volunteer service that is pertaining to the course in some way. Here's some special advice regarding extra credit. Waiting until finals and asking for extra credit when you didn't take advantage of opportunities earlier in the semester does not go over well with most of our professors. If you don't do it when it's offered, you lose the opportunity to do it later, in most cases. So when it's offered, take it. If you are struggling, talk to your professor. Ask them if there are opportunities for extra credit. While not all professors offer this option, it can never hurt to ask them.